Do you know what time it is? Welcome to the Legacy of Nerd. My name is Daniel. And yes, today we are finally opening the Tommy Oliver Master Morpher. I've actually had it for like a month now. I know the pre-orders just shipped from Hasbro Pulse. I actually got this when PulseCon had some in stock. And I don't know why, I just haven't opened it yet. I've been busy and I just haven't. It's not going to be so much a review. I feel like everybody knows what the Master Morpher is all about, but it's going to be, me talking about it and my ideas about it, my insights about it. But yeah, I wanted to show it off a little bit and kind of talk about it. So, one thing I was really surprised when we got the first pictures of it was them actually putting Jason David Frank on the cover here. Like, that is something I did not expect whatsoever. Um, I think it's really nice. I really like it. As during his Ninja Steel 25th anniversary episode, super good picture, super good art, by the way. Um, there's a side, there's a better kind of closer uh, art of that as well, which is really cool. One thing I actually do really like is I like these. I think these are really cool. I wish Hasbro would release some of these pictures right here, so I could use them every now and then in photos and stuff. I think they look really clean. They look really good. I like the way the helmets look right there. But yeah, we're going to open this up and get my impressions on it. So while I'm opening it up, I will talk about when I discovered about the Master Morpher. So, if you've been following me, you know I first released the Master Morpher video when we learned about it in February. I had been scrolling Twitter, and since I talk a lot about Power Rangers, there's a lot of Power Ranger items on Twitter for me to read about, and one of them was a video from, I believe, Joshua Aaron Moore, who had interviewed Jason David Frank before his passing in November 2022. I think he did it like in March of 2022, where Jason David Frank was talking about. I guess this was kind of um, off the record, but he was actually talking about the Master Morpher and he told Hasbro about how fans had wanted it, that he had seen so many customs on it. Actually, I'll put the audio.
So, and I did talk to, between me and you, I talked to Hasbro. They wanted me to do some Morpher thing, some stupid White Ranger, 22 White Ranger Morpher thing. And I said, you know what, you guys, okay, you ready for me to make you another million? Are you ready? Because I make you guys millions and I get shit from it, but you ready to make millions? I will only do a Master Morpher. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. That's not a good idea. I got people duplicating them all day long. They're making them.
Yep.
Give people a Master Morpher. So I heard them rip up their other page with the White Ranger Morpher, the 22 White Ranger Morpher, that ripped that up, and that's between us though. But because I'm on an NDA, but we'll be doing I'll be doing a Master Morpher, which makes sense. So there you go, Hasbro. There's another $1 million. So let Tommy Oliver's legacy rest in peace until you guys can get your stuff together and give the actors something that they should do.
Basically, he said he wanted to do it for the fans, that Hasbro wanted to do a White Ranger Morpher, and he said no, and basically he only agreed to do this if it was going to be on his terms. So that video I released. Now, I wasn't the first one that released that video, obviously, or talked about that video. Obviously, Joshua Aaron Moore released that video, but I was one of the first ones on YouTube to talk about it and kind of break the news about it to a grander audience. And it was kind of crazy when that was all happening because actually Bat in the Sun reposted my video about the Master Morpher, and it just led to so many people discovering the Legacy of Nerd, which I was really, really grateful for. It was really awesome. It was a really interesting time for me and here on the channel. And if you guys followed that video or you saw it, you notice that I am doing that video while holding, at that time she was like 2 months old, 3 months old, my little daughter. And we were about to go out on a date. I saw this audio on Twitter. I was like, oh my God, I got to talk about this real quick and get this out there. And I just did the video real quick. It uploaded while I was on the road to the date. We were actually going seeing Ant-Man. It was a screening that some of my friends held, and we I went into the theater and I came out and there was like thousands of views already within like a couple of hours, which was insane. And then Bat in the Sun reposted it, and I didn't know until like 2 days later that Bat in the Sun reposted it, which was incredible. It kind of led through this whole thing about I had several events that happened. So the first thing was the Master Morpher. Right after, or maybe right before that, I had interviewed Austin St. John. I have to look at the timing about that. And then right after that was actually the More Phenomenal Expo here in San Antonio, and I got to meet like a lot of Rangers, especially the Cosmic Fury cast. I got to meet four of them, three of them, and that was really really awesome. And Once and Always came out right after that, and then it's just been a whirlwind of things since the Master Morpher. I actually did a follow up video when I found out more info about the Master Morpher, with my daughter as well. It was just here, it was both of us. I was in charge of her, and she was awake. She wanted to play, so I figured I'd just come in here. I think I filmed like a 4 or 5 minute video, her holding her, obviously with her little disguise, and we talked about it more. And it's just been such an interesting thing about this Master Morpher that has almost sort of like kind of defined my channel a little bit, and seeing it from the beginning to the end is just crazy. I know I'm going off script a lot and talking about my experience with it rather than the Master Morpher, and but it just had such a big effect on here on the channel and sort of like my life. It's led to a lot of different things, and it kind of all started with that Master Morpher video. Of course, I was posting videos before then and that, but I mean, it's just interesting to think about. So actually, at More Phenomenal Expo, I met Jenna Frank. So I got to meet JDF's daughter. So taking this off, obviously, this is like kind of a rocky color. It's more gray than I thought. I heard it was gonna be sand color, but it has like a little compartment in there, which I think is really cool. So it comes with the regular holster. Nothing special about this thing, but actually, I'm gonna take out the coins real quick. Yeah, so I met Jenna Frank at the More Phenomenal Expo night, and I had been kind of working a little bit with her team a little bit. Not just Jenna Frank, but like some of her management or some of her assistants and stuff like that. And that they introduced me to Tammy Frank, and so I actually got to meet Tammy Frank at Big Texas Comic Con here in San Antonio. While I was there, I had a friend there who actually had the Master Morpher with them, and they actually played the Master Morpher sounds for her. She hadn't actually heard the Master Morpher yet, or the audio from it, even though Jenna had gotten one of the Master Morphers. Oh, fun fact, by the way, Hasbro, when they sent her a Master Morpher, it was actually the prototype, and it was a shell. It had no electronics in it. So looking at these coins, they're a lot more. They looked really weird in the first pictures. I don't know if you can tell, but like they're actually kind of shiny a little bit. So they don't have like a real good shine to it, but you can definitely picking them up. They're metal. Yeah, you can hear that. There's, so yeah, I love the way that the coins look and feel. My red Zeo kind of has a little bit of some paint chips right there, but it's not too big of a deal. I think I can probably touch that up if I really wanted to, but oh well. But obviously we got whoa, my bad. We got the Dragon Zord coin, which is really cool. It was one of my favorite coins. The White Tiger coin, which a lot of us didn't have as a kid because they didn't make this, so we didn't really get one to the Legacy version. The Falcon coin, which the Falcon Zord is my favorite Zord of all time. I think it's super cool. And then we got his Turbo coin, which is pretty standard. And then we got the Black Dino Thunder coin, which has been shown quite a bit. So taking out the Master Morpher here, yeah, this is crazy, man. Uh, yeah, wow, it has some shine to it. I don't know if you can tell. This is, I mean, they're completely different. This is not metal, but this has like almost the gloss to it, not the gloss, but the shine. Very looks very very good to it. I love it. It looks it looks clean. Obviously, it being protected by paper is not ideal, but it looks really good. I love the way it looks. So, of course, we all know that you have to put your own uh, batteries in here. I'm trying to see. I was like, where's batteries? The back is pretty normal for Mighty Morpher. It looks really good. So we're gonna put the batteries in it. Whoop! Almost dropped that. And we're gonna listen to it. But yeah, so Jenna had told me that the one that Hasbro had actually sent her was a shell and it didn't have any electronics in it. So a lot of people on that video was like, how was it the first time for her listening to the Master Morpher when Jenna had one? Well, Jenna had sort of one. So Jenna doesn't even have the official final version of it right now because they sold out. So the pre-orders are currently sold out. One thing I wanted to mention though is that Hasbro Pulse made a comment like to keep following them in case there are any restocks because Jenna posted her video about receiving the Master Morpher after they had sold out and the pre-orders had sold out. So yeah, I anticipate there probably being a third stock coming in. Uh, ooh, did you see that light? So I turned off the lights in here and kind of did some other lights to see if we could see the light better on camera, which so far it's coming out. It's really cool. So one thing I'm gonna do is I really haven't heard the voices too much. I was listening to Tammy listen to the voices at Big Texas, but it was super loud in there. And if you don't notice, she has the morpher right up to her ear. So oh, that's cool. Ooh, see how it's really bright. Some of the best lighting out of all the morphers so far. Dragon Zord. That's weird to hear his voice like that. Dragon Zord. 1993, it's morphin' time. I like that. Sometimes the original is the best. God, I remember watching I was what 7 years old when Power Rangers came out, and when the Green Ranger was debuted. And God, if you guys were there, you really understood that like it was a really big theme going on. Like everybody was talking about it at school. At that time, like finding anything Power Rangers was so difficult. I know my parents were able to find a couple of things, but it was hard for the average parent, back then to get something for their kid that was Power Rangers related. I remember my parents told me recently that they would have to call Toys R Us almost every single day to see if they got any Power Rangers toys in for that Christmas. Like it was just so insanely popular. Luckily, back then I did get a Dragon Zord back then, which was really cool, and I got a lot of those original 8-inch figures, which I love. A lot of people don't like those 8-inch figures because they're not accurate to the show, but I think they're really cool because that's my childhood. So it just kind of says different. I know there's secret sounds. I think there's one if you type. This is a good kind of green. This is a good kind of green. I've never heard that actually. It's a different sound. I know there's secret sounds. So kind of want to listen to the White Tiger. Let's see how it is. The one thing that's been brought up is that there is no on-off switch, so you have to take the batteries out. Guys, if you guys have these and you take them out and you put batteries in them, when you're storing it, just make sure you take the batteries out. Even if it's just on display and you're not using it, make sure the batteries are taken out because they'll be corrosive and they will do damage over time. Tiger Zord. That sort of reminds me of one of the electronics back in the day. If anybody has the White Ranger talking Power Ranger, like the 8-inch figure, remind me what it says. I think it says that. Now I just need Saba and the gangs back together. So it looks kind of blue, but In person, it's way more tiger style. It's way more white on here. Kind of has like almost a rainbow color though, a little bit sometimes. But it's cool, man. I love this. Saba, man, that'd be cool if they did a Saba too. I don't have a Saba. Ooh, tiger style. I don't remember him ever saying tiger power. I'm really curious. I'm really curious if like they wrote some stuff and he just read them off, or if he kind of just ad libbed some of these lines. Like, tiger style. All right, Saba, let's do it. I like that. That's cool. You know, Saba didn't growl. He kind of
chocolate smoothies from Ernie's Juice Bar. You know what I'm talking about.
Ernie's Juice Bar. That's a strange one.
Ooh, tiger style.
All right, so we're gonna try Falcon, which is the Ninjetti, the White Ninja Ranger power. Let's see. White Ranger power. No, it didn't work. Maybe it's not in there correctly. Okay.
White Ranger Falcon Sword.
I don't know what just happened. I don't think it was clicking all the way. That was weird. Okay. White Ranger power. It's cool. I always wanted a Falcon Ninja coin.
Let's do it, guys.
Ninja Falcon coin?
Ninja Ranger power.
Ninjetti.
Falcon Sword now. Ancient powers of the ninjas gonna take you down.
I sort of like that. Ancient powers of the ninja gonna take you down.
White Ranger Falcon Sword.
It's cool.
Power up.
Okay. All right, so now we're going to try Red Zeo. If it gets in there. There we go. Very red. Very, very good, strong red on that. Zero Ranger 5, red.
Zeo Ranger 5, red.
Finally got one. That sounds good, man.
Time to show you how it's done. Smorphin' time.
I like that.
Crystal powered Morpher. Zeo 5, activate.
That's interesting.
Zeo Ranger 5, now.
I think it's weird that like his voice is just so clear on here.
You're in for a surprise.
Like you hear electronic stuff and they're never this
Time
good.
for the original to show you how it's done. Zeo Ranger 5, red.
Okay, I think that's the rest of them. And we got Red Turbo, which I think a lot of us have learned to appreciate Turbo more as we've gotten older. Back then, I think a lot of us were getting older at that time and didn't know we wanted to keep still watching Power Rangers.
Ready? Let's do it. Shift to the turbo.
I really wish they would have like someday do a Turbo Morpher. That'd be really cool to Lightning Clutch. I know we got things going on the hiatus, but
Can't slow down the Turbo Red Ranger. Red Lightning, turbo power now.
Red Lightning. There's one thing they kind of have the second season, especially with the second team. Stop saying Red Lightning.
All right, guys, shift to the turbo.
That's cool. All right, and then the last one is the Black Dino Thunder, and then we'll take. Ooh.
Dino Thunder, Black Ranger.
So this one is more. It's purple, but it's more like a blue purple. I think it's hard because they put that green lens on there. They can only do so much, but yeah, I think it looks good. It's still super bright.
Dr. O, coming in.
Dr. O.
Brachio power now. knuckleheads. Power up!
Knuckleheads. I think the real interesting thing is like I still want to know the timeline how he became a doctor. Like, it takes time to earn your doctorate.
Brachial power coming in. It's a
Like, was he doing that in the middle of becoming a race car driver?
Tommy Oliver, PhD.
See,
Night of Thunder, Black Ranger.
it's cool.
Dr. O, coming right at you.
Love it, man.
Brachial power, now.
I think that's most of it. I'm gonna play with it a little bit more, see if I hear any other. But I'm having a lot of fun with this. And like I said, it's been really crazy to see the beginning of what this was. A rumor, right? A rumor. This what started all of us, and then it turned into like, oh my God, Jason David Frank said something about it, before he passed, and then lastly, we started hearing more and more. I remember when it shipped or not shipped, but it dropped in the Philippines or Singapore. It was Singapore, or was it? That was mine both. But yeah, I mean, I remember when that all happened. I mean, it was just like it was insane. Like nobody could really believe like all that was going on, and then we had not heard anything from Hasbro on our end, but we all sort of knew it was coming down. I know a lot of people feel very conflicted about Jason David Frank and Power Rangers, and one thing that I've learned is that while he did have his issues with people that do run Power Rangers, um, he his issue was never with the brand itself or the fans. So we all know he loved and cared about the fans a lot, and I think that's something that we don't need to worry about because I know a lot of people would talk about, well, did he even want, you know, how should I even get this? Because he didn't, support Power Rangers. But the reality is he did support Power Rangers, and he cared about the brand. And he it was important to him. But there was things behind the scenes that made it hard for him. That's why he decided to focus on Legend of the White Dragon. Um, Again, like it is crazy to see this full circle. You know, it feels very weird, holding it and touching it after talking about it for so long. And then I've had it sitting here for a month and I still hadn't touched it. And I think it was time. And I felt like it was a good time. I usually don't do toy reviews, but this is something I felt like I needed to do, especially how much this one item has been such a big deal on my channel, and now we can kind of put it to rest a little bit. I'm glad it's here. I'm glad it's in my hands. I'm happy that it exists, and yeah, if I hear anything more about there being more pre-orders, of course I'll let you guys know here on the channel. But this is the Master Morpher, guys. So if you're able to pick it up, treasure it because it's a really cool item, and I think it's one of the most important items in the Lightning collection because of how it was conceived by Jason David Frank, and obviously his passing and sort of the last thing he left us for Power Rangers. So, all right, guys, that's going to be it. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Were you able to pick one up? What did you think about it when you got it? What does it mean to you? Let me know in the comments, and y'all know what time it is. I know it has the buckle on it. It's morphin' time.